I found things about myself that I didn't even know existed. Like there were skills, like I was leading a group of people, I was talking, I was networking, and it just helped me grow so much.
Hello, everyone. So, this particular podcast revolves around the importance of internships, the importance of internships early on in one's life, much more in someone's undergraduation. How helpful will these internships be in their career upfront, and the skills that they're all going to learn in these internships, and how are these skills enabling them to grow. So, in Marvel Interns podcast series, we are hosting Sugansha Bhatnagar, who has been a youth influencer at ULead, powered by Unschool, and later got promoted to be a youth leader. So now, Sugansha, it would be
Hi.
great if you start by sharing how your journey has been in the ULead program.
I think so. I'll start by telling that how my internship at ULead was the first internship that I'd taken back in second year. Now I'm in third year right now, and there's actually no one way of describing how my entire experience was because I know that I found out about I found things about myself that I didn't even know existed. Like there were skills, like I was leading a group of people, I was talking, I was networking, and it just helped me grow so much. Like after that, every single internship I've done at different organizations in different fields, I always had that in the back of my head that I did something there, and I know that I'm capable of doing and achieving something even better. And it motivated me so much to learn new things, explore my own, areas. I started writing after that. I got my articles published in a book. And, in general, it gave me a sight to myself that, that there are, because when I started the internship at ULead,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll just do finance. I was in the back of my head. I'm just doing it. But then with my experience and the kind of things that I got to learn with my experience, I realized that, it's not always like we planned. There's just so much out there, and doing such internships actually gives us such a good and broad spectrum of, it gives us so much knowledge about so many things out there, and it gives us so much clarity. So like I know
Yeah.
it for a fact that, if I hadn't done that one internship, I would have still been stuck on, finance. This is my goal. And it
Yeah.
shouldn't be that way,
Yeah.
we should let, like, as we're the youth, okay, I feel that we really need to let ourselves go with the flow to some extent, because if we don't do that, there's no scope of learning and growing. And my internship here and my entire experience with Unschool helped me, discover and explore that about myself.
Yeah. So you basically started off by saying that you started this internship very early on in your
I did, I
undergraduation,
did.
right? So, and I also heard you tell that the kind of roles that you had, the kind of job role that you had, helped you have a broader perspective on different functions in management. That's moreover
Of
in
course,
marketing and sales.
of course, yes.
And also heard you say that you were stuck in you would have been stuck in one particular function, which would be finance, right? So I also heard a
Right.
lot of positive things, but I would want you to share what your challenges were, right, for
Right.
all those youth influencers and youth leaders who just started off, and
Right.
who are maybe finding few things tough.
Mm.
It would be great if they listen to what were those challenges that you had upfront. I also know that you were amongst those few youth leaders who got results in the first couple of days, but I
Right.
also understand that you might have faced challenges. So
Of course,
if
of course.
you had to share them, what would they be?
Okay, so talking about the challenges, I think so it was the fear of rejection. So I think so. As an individual, I always was very scared of rejection, and it happened that I made a call and someone they didn't want to talk to me, or they were maybe a little rude to me, something. And I was
Yeah.
really scared of that. And that actually held me back. But then, it was that once I started, I just knew that I need to give myself some time. I need to
Yeah.
learn. So I remember I used to come to you very often, can you just help me out with this? Because
Yeah.
I knew that I think it's very important for everyone who's working right now and who's facing any kind of difficulties is just give yourself some time. Like it's a process. It takes time. For
Yeah.
some people, it might take a few days. For some people, it might take a few weeks. But then you shouldn't give up and get scared. Nahi ho raha, nahi ho raha. It
More
shouldn't
of
be like
more
that.
of trust the process and results shall come.
Yes, of course, yes. And that is what helped me get through it. And also this other thing that, came as a challenge to me was a lot of people that were working with me were my own batchmates. And I was in the back of my head, I was like, how can I ask them to do work?
Yeah.
They're my own batchmates and
Yeah.
everything. That happened. But at the same time, I realized like at the end of the day, I am working.
Yeah.
I'm responsible to a company, and it's a give and take. I help them grow, they help me grow, and that was my perspective. And I was like, okay, I have to be more professional, focus on what is more important. At the end of the day, it's at the end of the day, it's me who's learning, it's me who's growing, and that was another thought that I had to get out of my head, which actually helped me convert a lot of youth influencers to youth leaders, and it definitely gave me so much more clarity, and it made the work so much more easier, honestly.
All right. Great.
So that was another thing.
All right. Great. So, having worked in an edutech startup, right, which
Right.
is focusing on upskilling into individuals across the country, what do you think about the Indian education system? And can you think of any few things that might get better in our education system?
So I just feel that Indian education system is very rigid.
Okay.
It is very on track. So like now, for instance, I know it for a fact that if I go out there to any school or any college and I pick 10 people and ask them, can you explain the entire Russia-Ukraine scenario and whatever is happening,
Yeah.
they wouldn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because the curriculum that we've been following, it's been the same since my older sister graduated, her cousins graduated, and since then the system has been the same. And
Yes.
it actually, it stopped the kids from actually exploring so much. So like right
Yeah.
now, I took commerce with maths in my 12th grade only because I was scared of biology. So I had to give up on physics or chemistry as well, something I might have done. But it's just that, the entire system is so rigid and so focused. If you're doing commerce, you have
Yeah.
to pick up these subjects, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Your scope of
Yeah.
learning something else reduces. And the competitive exams, at the same time, it is so in format with whatever has been happening for so many years that you can actually guess the CBSE ka board examination ka paper. Like, you go to tuition and your tuition teacher will tell you, कि देखो ये question आएगा, ये question आएगा, ये question तो पक्का आएगा. Because it is just so stagnant like that. And I
Yeah.
think so that is an issue because this entire system actually stopped the students, the youth from going ahead and explore and wanting to explore themselves because they're so scared of the system. If they go out of line and they do something different from what others are
Yeah.
not doing, they might not succeed or it might not help them.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, people don't motivate them enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a thing that I do not like. I personally feel should have some change.
Yeah.
People should like the education system should work on it. I feel, and aside from that, what could be better is actually something along the lines what Unschool is doing right
Mm-hmm.
now. I mean, Unschool, for instance, when I was so I remember I've done a few courses from Unschool. So that actually, it gave me a chance to learn something different that I wouldn't have in my general day-to-day life. Something my college wouldn't teach me, my school never taught me. But at the same time, I got a chance to learn something new and actually understand if this is something that I want to pursue. If not pursue something I want to work on, so a new skill added to my portfolio. And I feel that a new skill is never a bad thing. We are at an age where this is a time to learn. And it is so important to have such platforms which are going to help us do that because online courses hote hain, but this entire thing of framing courses to learn new skills, it is something that I wish people know more about. the kids' parents know more about, because once that happens and once there's this information and knowledge about it out there, it just helps the kid to learn new skills. And these skills, trust me, they stay for life, because now I know that every time I submit my CV to someone, I think the first thing they're going to look at are the additional skills that I have, the things I've done, and things that I'm capable of doing.
Yes.
And that is actually an amazing thing, and something that I personally am very proud of.
Great. Okay. So yeah, you can complete.
No, yeah, so that is about it. So that's something that I'm happy that I did for myself, but I wish that there were more people out there who could do that for themselves or for their kids or for their families. It's just about learning at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, Sugansha, since we are talking about skills, okay, so there's one soft skill, which is leadership,
Right.
all right, which I believe that everyone must upskill in. This one soft skill, which is leadership. So, having been part of the ULead program, can you share on how have you evolved as a leader?
I feel that I always, this entire leadership, the concept of leadership is something that has always attracted me, taking the lead, going ahead with things, I mean, I think so you would know that it was, so when I became the youth leader, I think so when there were people working with me, under me, it just not only helped me become a better leader, it also helped me understand the kind of people that are out there. So, maybe in school things are different, because school may people come from the same background, because we're learning the same thing. We are in the same environment 24/7, the same teachers. But here, when I was doing this internship, I was in contact with people from all over the country.
Yes.
And the kind of cultures, the kind of way that it's just so many different things and so many different ideas, perspectives coming in line.
Yes.
Because, for instance, Mumbai people, like the way that they live their life is so much different from the way Delhi people live their life.
Yes.
I can ask a Delhi person to, can we hold a meeting at 8 o'clock, and they'll be up for it. But in Mumbai, the nights are late. So I call them and they'll be like, I'm so sorry, I'm busy, I can't right now. So it helps me understand that, as a leader, it's not always your team's responsibility to work according to you, but as a leader, it's important for you to work according to everyone's need and make sure that whatever decision you're making, it has to be in favor of every single person you're working with. Because if your team is happy, your work will be nice and you will be happy at the end of the day. So that is something that I really appreciated about it, because I didn't not only grow as a leader, but also as a person there. And even after that internships I did, I was just way more prepared for the challenges to come, because I know that, challenges are accepted. It's just about how you take them. You can even take them negatively or positively. I just take them positively, because I knew that with my experience at Unschool, I knew that these are the points in life, or in my duration of the internship, that I'm going to actually learn things. Because passing those hurdles and overcoming those obstacles is the whole part about how you're a good leader, a good follower, and how you actually can make the situation in your favor. And that is something that was my biggest learning out of my internship at Unschool.
Great. Sugansha, since you were working on operations and you had youth influencers who were working with you from different parts of the country, right? And having a team which such a diversity is definitely tough. All right. So I want to listen from you on how were you able to scale the team up in such a short period of time. I believe that you have scaled your team in less than a couple of weeks to get exponential results, right? So how could you lead such a diverse team, and how could you get such good results in a short period of time?
I think so. My main focus, like where my entire thing started, was when I was taking the interviews for, the members, because I realized that I wanted people in my team who could actually connect with me. I really wanted people who were able to communicate openly, who had that understanding, and who could, there was some understanding between
Yeah.
the member and myself.
Yes.
So it was like, even when I created the group, the community, I always made sure that I was talking to most of them one on one basis almost every single day, understanding how things are going, if
Mhm.
they're facing a difficulty, if they want me to be there on a shadow call or something along those lines. And I just made sure that everyone felt comfortable enough that even if there was something off track or they were not able to make a progress or something, they could
Yeah.
openly talk to me about it.
Yeah.
And that, I think, so made the entire difference, because of the entire because of the open communication aspect of it, I was able to actually understand where they could have been going maybe off track, or maybe what is that something they might want to tell me, but they may be hesitant or something, because I realized that if they're not comfortable with me, they won't talk to me. There's no, and the motivation of working dies. Like,
Mhm.
I knew that and I used to validate them a lot, because I know it myself that even everyone likes validation. Everyone likes to be appreciated for their work.
Mhm.
And that is something that I made sure that, they should feel that they're a part
Yeah.
of a family, a part of a team, and everything that they're doing is being accounted for and is being noticed by someone and is being appreciated. So that is what I went for. That was my first instinct as a leader, or maybe as how I wanted the team to operate. And even aside from that, I just felt that it is important for me to be like, I was very understanding. So even when the meetings were there, I was very relaxed and chilled about it. I was like, ठीक है, कभी भी कर लेंगे, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. I didn't want them to feel that, okay, so Sugansha is like a superior, you have to work under. No, it was like we were working together. It was just, I was considering I had worked before them, so I had slightly higher experience in comparison that way. But aside from that, it was like we were a team together, and not that they were my team members and I was following and they were following me. Nothing like
Yeah.
that. I made
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
and there was a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
And
So
then because of that, the entire concept, the entire thought of the different city and different backgrounds, it just got eliminated, because that never came to anyone's mind. She's from a different city. We're from it. I don't think so that ever became a problem then.
yeah.
Initially, yes, maybe for a day or two, but that's about it.
Great. So I want to appreciate you by telling you that you haven't just been a leader, but you have made a lot of leaders, and you
Thank
continue to
you.
work with us after your tenure was done, and they got exponential results, just like you did, right? So now I would like you to share, uh, you know, anything in specific, if you would want to, with those youth influencers and youth leaders who have just joined the ULead community, and even they want to uh, do something good, even they want to create an impact out there, right? Something if you could share with them, and they probably would be inspired by that,
I
would be
just
great.
feel that you do the best work when you love your work.
Mhm.
I loved what I did, and I try to do the things that I genuinely enjoy and I appreciate and I understand and I love. Unschool was one platform which did, it came, initially when I was applying for the internship, I did not know much about it, because it was like, I think it was a year back or even before that. It's been a while. And I was not really much aware about it, but I just applied for it. But the moment I became the part of the team and, the internship happened,
Yeah.
I understood what I was doing. It was not just, काम दे दिया कर लिया. It was never like that with me. I
Yeah.
wanted to understand what I'm doing, what is the background, where is everything coming from.
Yeah.
And I did love the process. I did love the company, the way everyone operated, the kind of communication that happened. And I just feel that till the time you're not there, you don't understand what you're doing. You might, I mean, at least I know it for myself that I wouldn't succeed at something that I'm not completely aware of, because then I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. And that shouldn't be it shouldn't be like that. You should love what you do. Every day that I woke up, I knew, I have work to do and I will do it, because and the best part was that you as my manager, you never gave me a deadline. It was just ki karna hai, and because of what I appreciated my work, I made sure to do it well within the time frame or the time allotted to me, or however it might have worked. And I think so that makes a lot of difference.
Got
So it shouldn't be like a work. You should know that at the end of the day, you're the one who's gaining way more than the company is at the end,
Yeah,
because you are learning. It's a new experience for you, and if you give your 100%, you will get 100% out of it as well, and it'll actually help the influencers, the leaders to actually learn so many more things if they just do it with an open mind and know that you're doing everything for yourself at the end
yeah,
of the day, and it's okay if you put in some extra hours, some extra efforts, because it comes back to you. It always does. So
yeah.
I
So
think
so
so.
yeah, we definitely believe in that kind of a culture where we would want our team members, our community members to have the ownership, and them knowing the vision, and running towards that is something that we always wanted to have, it's always wanted to build. And we were, and we are, and we will be building leaders for future, for the good. And thank you so much, Sugansha, for sharing your journey, sharing your learning outcomes, sharing your challenges. So I just want our youth influencers and youth leaders who are currently working with us watch this particular story of yours, and get
Thank you so
inspired,
much.
right? And yeah, that's pretty much from this podcast. Thank you so much for being on this particular Marvel Interns
Thank you for
podcast.
having me. Thank you for having
Thank you
me.
so much.